I did have levels of awareness that were increasingly new. You know, like the earliest level of awareness that I remember would be what I would call willingness, actually. You know, back when I was reading Peace Pilgrim, I tuned into a new awareness right there. The new awareness was, there was an awareness that she knew something that I didn't know. And in fact, to put it into words, she knew what love was. For me, love was an emotion, right? Like I feel the emotion of loving you or loving this experience. For her, love was a very real and intelligent living power, right? And I knew that she knew it for a fact. I knew that she knew what love was, that she was completely within it and completely in harmony with it. And I wanted to know what she knew. That was the birth of my willingness. But that was a new awareness, because prior to having that sparked in me, I didn't have an awareness that there was something called love, you know, a power, an intelligence called love. Before that, love was just an emotion. And then as I moved forward on the spiritual path, I became aware of a new awareness. The new awareness, I guess it's what we call observer. But it was the ability to watch my mind, not just be my mind, right? Because up until that awareness kicked in, I was just being my mind. You know, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice when my mind prompted me to get angry. I didn't see it as a prompt. I didn't see it as a choice. It just happened. Something seemingly outside of me happened, and I reacted with anger. There was no awareness at all of what was going on in the mind, of the options, the choices, and therefore the choice not to get angry. So as I shifted into observer, I stopped being the mind, and I started being the one who had a choice about the mind, right? Now, that's just the first couple of steps of awareness. And if we look back at this particular message, notice what Holy Spirit is saying. I'm going to go back a paragraph. Holy Spirit says, when you have taken one step without faltering over it too much, it is time to take another. Each new step brings with it all of the previous ones. This is why you see, referring to my imagination, this is why you see the image of the stairway disappearing each time you take a step. Each new step is inclusive of all those that came before it. Any step that has ever been helpful will continue to help as you ascend higher within the awareness of your mind. So what that would mean is that that very first level of awareness, the awareness that there was a power called love, not just an emotion, right? That level of awareness was still there when I took the next step and became the observer of the mind, right? And as I became more than the observer, but one who could quickly discern and make right choices, right? More of a master at that level, you could say. The previous steps were still included. So as we gain awareness, there is only gain. There is never loss. Holy Spirit continues, this is the stairway to heaven, as you like to call it. It is ascension into awareness. What's happening is we're gaining greater and greater awareness. If we go back to where I started, again, for me, love was only an emotion. It could come and it can go. There was no awareness at all of a power called love, right? I was just being the mind. I had no idea that the mind was giving prompts that I could choose to listen to or not listen to. At that point, I had no real awareness at all. I was completely asleep. But then the levels of awareness began to kick in. And I became strong at one level of awareness, then the next level of awareness. This is awakening. That's exactly what this is. Increasing awareness is awakening. It's moving from a state of living unconsciousness to a state of living consciousness. This is the stairway to heaven, as you like to call it. It is ascension into awareness. It is ascension from not being aware into being fully aware, which is also why it is called the ascension from sleeping to awakening. As such, you cannot help but notice more awareness as you ascend your stairway to heaven. If you stop to be grateful for one thing, stop to be grateful for awareness. So what this means to me is that we don't even have to be aware of the edge, as I call it, to be grateful for awareness. Because as soon as we begin the path of awakening, we have increased awareness over the awareness that we had before. So if my current awareness is back at what I'm going to call the first step on the path, if my current awareness is, I am now aware that there's a power called love. I'm aware that it's something very real. And I'm aware that I can get to know it. Even if I don't know it yet, I'm aware that I can get to know it. I want to stop to be grateful for that awareness. Because that awareness is already an ascension. Right? I didn't have that awareness before. I want to stop to be grateful for awareness.